The Harper contains foul language and adult material. If you are easily offended and thin-skinned, you should hit the stop button now. And if you are not a complete idiot, let's get this party started.
Hike up your motherfucking panties.
And pull them to the side.
This is the Harper.
Fuck you. No bullshit. What's up, G?
What's up, baby? Welcome to the Harper, ladies and gentlemen.
Live and in person.
Live and in person. This is Jake, as always, with my sidekick, Adam.
I'm Adam. That's right.
Bringing it at you for the first time on video. It's been a long and winding road, buddy.
We have worked our asses off.
That's right.
A couple of fucking noobs.
That's right.
On the tube.
Mad props to this guy. He's the brains. As you can see, I've got an iPhone to check information if I need to, one piece of paper for notes, and a couple fizzy diet Mountain Dews to make sure that my voice doesn't fall off. He's got what looks like to be basically a recording studio in front of him.
You know.
So
it's all good, brother.
I appreciate it, man. It looks good. So welcome back. As you mentioned, we're recording what show? What shows are we recording tonight?
Let's see. We're recording shows 20 and 19. Wait, what?
Is that 2019?
2019, not in that order.
Man, how did we get that for our first recording of the year?
I don't know. It's kind of corny, but I came to my mind and I got to do it.
No, I like it.
2019.
Well, like a lot of other shit we do, it's kind of bass backwards, you know?
A little bit. Like,
why not?
Like not figuring the shit out before we actually started.
I guess that's fair. So,
hey, by the way, just so everybody knows, if anybody's keeping track, I don't know if you are, if you aren't, but we have officially broke the 3-month record.
Boom!
At December 21st was our 3 months.
Yeah.
So we appreciate all our listeners, every one of you. So far, so good.
That's right. State to state, we love it. We actually been looking at kind of people over the place. Got a couple from different spots in the world. It's been great so far. So thank you guys all so much for tuning in, enjoying our crazy little ride here.
It's been good shit.
It has. So I think we're gonna hop right in for tonight as we get into 2019. There's a whole bunch of states that are coming around. We know that Ohio, our home state, is one of them that actually, as of the first of the year, now has legalized medical marijuana. Right? We're not the last ones of the party. We're not the first ones, but
at some point, it's about fucking time.
Yeah, as a Rust Belt state, we'll take the timing that they gave us on this, though. So it's in.
I mean, if the world isn't already aware, Ohio is one of the strictest states, and for it to be like, I don't know what, like 10th on the, like, is that where we're at?
I want to say we're around 18, 20, somewhere around
Even
there.
to be before the halfway point, I think is huge.
Oh, sure.
I figured Ohio would be 42nd, 45th.
Yeah.
You know.
But still classic Ohio, though, is like they have to have it available in some form or fashion. As of right now, I don't even know if they figured that out because in December they were still scrambling to try to figure out how they were going to get this out to people, exactly what it was going to take to get your card, most places. So we just want to kind of touch on the weed topic, kind of where we're at today, where we're going, where should we be going, how should we be doing it. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. I feel like people are going in different directions as far as one state will do it one way. The Fed still has a weird fucking position on the entire thing. The Feds, they basically still got the country by the balls. Yeah.
You can have your dispensaries, you can be a grower legally by the state, and the feds can come through and wipe your fucking ass clean out.
Yeah. I really find a little bit of bullshit with that. I mean, I know that there's other laws that kind of work like that, but you really got to have one or the other, don't you? I mean, I don't care which one it is. I don't care if it's the Fed making the rules or the state making the rules, but you can't say that one has one way and one has it the other. So if you piss us off for some reason, we can just come in and take all your shit.
It seems like it should be. From what I've heard about other laws, about other issues, the state overrides federal.
Yeah.
But when you're making a buku lot of fucking money, apparently federal law kicks in and they say, oh, okay, well, this is where we take over because we can't let, distributor B make, let's just say $250,000 versus distributor A that hasn't even hit 100,000 yet. I don't know what their reasoning is behind their busts and their breakdowns, but
I don't know. I just think that it's a federal issue that they haven't gotten dealt with yet. I mean, shit, as we can see by the current shutdown, that I'm sure as of tomorrow when this comes out cold, kicking it live, we're still going to be in shutdown mode. So, I mean, we can't get one fucking piece of legislation passed, let alone one that probably isn't at the very forefront. I mean, I feel like it's an important topic that needs to be handled.
Exactly.
We'll delve into a little bit later exactly why.
Personally, I think the government should legalize it nationally.
Yeah.
I think it should.
Sure.
Let the states figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
Take the cover off.
Yeah.
The the stigma, whatever you want to say.
Right.
There's a lot of older generation people that they don't want to see this. They can't stand this. Of course, they might be neighbors with the guy that's just the same age that's smoking his fucking tail off too.
So you're saying that what you would propose would be that the Fed just goes ahead and lifts all the state bans
Yes.
on it. So then let me ask you this part of it then. So if they're going to lift all of the state bans, are they still going to be dealing with the stuff that's coming in from other countries? If it's coming in from Canada, Mexico on a boat from Guatemala, I don't give a shit.
No. I'm talking about state regulatory. Can we use it for medicinal? Can we use it for recreation? Let them decide that, or do we not use it at all?
Right, but what I'm saying. Let me to refine my question. So, if Louisiana passes legislation that says, "Hey, it's completely legal here," oh, and by the way, as a state, we're going to allow Guadalajara to import it into the state of Louisiana. Should that be okay, or should that fall under some kind of a federal trade policy?
I don't think at this point, when we decide that it's legal or not legal per state, I don't think we import it anywhere.
No.
Why do you need to import it? We got one of the biggest countries in the world.
Right.
As far as land mass.
It's true.
Grow your own.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what.
Well, that's another. Okay, so that's another topic though. If we're going to go down that road, then you might as well just start down and go down it, because that's one of the big bugaboos right now. Oh, you're rowing upstream right now.
I'm digging my hole. Let's go.
No, that's okay. You don't have to dig a hole. But again, I just want to hear your opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, should this be something where, okay, it's legal, just everybody can grow their own, and it is what it is. And if you want to buy yours from a dispensary, go buy it from the dispensary.
No, they already have their own rules. Like some states, I think, I could be wrong, don't persecute me, but like I think Michigan.
Yeah.
I think you could grow 6 plants.
Yeah.
When they first passed it.
Sure.
They said you can grow 6 plants. I don't know if that's for your own use or.
I would have to believe that was strictly for personal.
Right.
However they want to define it, household use,
Right.
So if you and your
can
person,
grow 6 plants, and I think you can even sell that to dispensaries if you wish.
I think you have to have a separate license for
Maybe.
that if you're going to do that.
Okay. But either way, if you're growing 6, what was your question?
What was my question? Should you just be allowed to do this? I mean, is it something where if you open it up, should everybody just be allowed to grow their own?
No, okay, because there's laws already in place on what you can do, and that is per state.
We're not talking about exactly what's in place now. We're talking about what you should be able to do. If the Fed came in
I think
tomorrow
the states
and
should
removed
still
it,
regulate it.
You do.
Yeah, so therefore they say, okay, yes, all right, we're going to do municipal, like in Ohio.
Yeah.
It's municipal, but you can only consume it via...
It's medicinal. I'm sorry. I can let most... It's medicinal.
Medicinal.
There you go. Good.
All right, I thought I was saying that.
You said medicinal.
Medicinal?
It was messing my ears up. I was like,
medicinal.
sorry.
I'm probably just mumbling.
Yeah.
Anywho. No, but like in Ohio, currently, the only way you can consume medicinal marijuana is via the vape.
Okay.
That's it. Apparently in Michigan it's different because you're allowed to grow 6 plants.
Yeah.
So each state can do their own damn thing.
So in Ohio, there's no can't go get a.
I don't believe
can't go get a bag anywhere.
No, and you shouldn't be able to grow it apparently because unless you have your squeegee or however they pull the oils out to vape it, and get it in a little container, you're probably not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I've never heard of being able to grow it for medicinal purposes on a personal level anyway, so I'm not sure.
No, that's probably recreation.
I feel like if it's medicinal, that would probably be more along the lines of something that I would like to see have a little bit of control to it. If it's strictly for medicinal, I mean, because I feel like if there's a reason for it, you're going to probably want to control exactly what that is, how much is going out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
it's like any other drug.
What's going to happen though is your diehard weed smokers are going to go. They're going to move
Yeah.
at some point. They're going to move to the state closest to them
Yeah.
that has it for recreation.
Yeah. Well, part of the problem though is the things that you can get them for. And what's funny is you keep seeing in a lot of states where at first when they get the medicinal, you have to have some kind of a chronic issue,
Right.
that leads to it.
Ohio's got 21.
Within a couple years, doctors are losing patients and they're watching that money walk out the door, right? So
But that's why they're getting involved. Some of these doctors are getting involved, or the RX places.
it's not even that they're just getting involved. What they're doing is they don't want to lose patients because every doctor's visit is worth a particular price tag. So as soon as you have some arthritis in your big toe, well, we can't have that. If weed's gonna help settle that down, then let me go ahead and write you a card for it.
Boom.
Like that's where you get that over time. What the threshold is kind of drops down.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
Like, I know people that have problems, chronic illnesses.
Yeah.
But they're still scared.
Yeah.
To go get that medical marijuana card.
Sure.
And I'm like, are you crazy? If you think you need it,
Yeah.
go get it. Don't fucking care what these doctors say. I don't care if you've been great friends with a doctor.
Yeah, but okay, so think about it from this perspective. So just because it is considered to be okay for a medical reason, there's still all kinds of companies that have bylaws that say that you can't do it. That if you piss hot,
Right.
you're done.
Like our corporation.
Yeah, so like
you can't smoke weed.
right, so you're out on your ass. So you could be following every regulation in the world, but to do a particular job, which I don't know that most of the jobs that we have are. You could probably do most of them high. Not that you want to be stoned at work, you know what I mean? But like,
I wouldn't want to be.
no.
I'm walking sober through that place every single day, and I'm afraid of a fucking tow motor running over my foot.
Exactly.
I'm scared to death.
Right. Just be waltzing through the warehouse someday.
Ba-doop-ba-doo.
That'd be an interesting moment, So
I don't know.
I feel like we're going to be it's going to be one of those things to where we keep getting more and more regulations. I mean, I'm glad that we have the Colorados and the Washingtons of the world that have had this in for a while to where you can kind of look and see how it's working, and what's great is that it's almost like the CNN/Fox News view, you turn on one outlet or read one report and all of a sudden it says, hey, this is working out great. People are happy. It's generating X a number of millions of dollars a year into the economy. Land prices are going up because people want to move here. And then the next report's going to tell you, well, crime's up 37% in areas that have legalized
Sure.
marijuana. And you know what I mean? To where it's the constant struggle that goes with
Well,
that.
it's what's on the media right now.
Yeah.
It's whatever they want to fucking broadcast.
Yeah.
Do they want to broadcast the good or they want to broadcast the bad?
Well,
Most of it's going to be the bad
it is.
because there's still going to be, I don't even know what the percentage, there's still going to be 20 to 30% of people that do not agree with this.
Yeah.
And this is how they're going to put a bad stigma on it that this is shitty.
Yeah. It's absolutely true.
I don't really care either way.
Yeah.
I'm not a pot smoker.
Sure.
But the thing about it is there seems to be a lot of studies that say it's good for a lot of illnesses
Yeah.
and pain.
Sure. Nausea for cancer patients. I mean,
Well,
glaucoma, anything.
Even non-pain related things.
Yeah.
They say it can be good for. I don't even know what they are. I just have seen him browsing through.
I mean, lots of things that are stomach related, they say that it's fantastic for.
right.
And like you said, not even necessarily smoke, just the THC that's coming out of it
Right.
creates that settling effect. So one of the things that I've always thought, and maybe it's a big grandiose idea, maybe it's crazy, but I have often thought that if the government regulated every bit of it, which I feel like they should on some level,
Sure.
that the tax that you would pull off of that, you're going to be saving so much money on ATF agents, some of that kind of stuff, to where law enforcement's going to have less shit to deal with when it comes to this, to where if you started taking that money and actually started putting it back into the infrastructure of our country, the problems that you have in places like Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, you know what I mean? Take that money, like this could be a huge way for our country to get itself righted.
Absolutely.
In a lot of different ways.
I agree. I think that you keep that money here. There's always going to be a black market of some sort for the states that don't, like Ohio.
I disagree.
You don't think so?
No, this is why. Because of alcohol. You look at alcohol. There was a black market for alcohol back in the 1930s during Prohibition. Today, the only black market that you see for alcohol is what? There's a few limited alcohols like absinthe that you cannot get here in the United States, right? So if you really want a bottle of absinthe, you might go to
Does it make you absent-minded?
Oh, have you never heard of absinthe?
I've never heard of it.
It's got a hallucinogenic properties
Wonderful.
to where you're not only getting drunk, you're seeing weird shit while you're doing it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and there's different kinds of it, but that's one that you can't get here.
They should just call it absent.
Yeah,
I see ya.
the fucking mind eraser.
I've got pictures and I'm just absent.
Yeah, but just like we were talking though with alcohol, so what you have is people aren't real. There's not really a black market for that. Like, I mean, once in a while you'll know somebody that can get some ass kicking moonshine. You know what I mean? To where like
Where somebody smuggles in some Everclear.
right. You
Woo!
know, which you can actually still get at the military stores. So those guys got the hookup on that kind of stuff. But what you have now, if you want to look at the same parallel, because I think that we would all agree that alcohol is marijuana's first cousin, right?
I mean, they have gone hand in hand.
Right.
And if you mix them,
Right.
which I have in the past.
Sure.
Woo!
One leads to headaches and birth. The other leads to Cheetos and sleep. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, no matter how you want to look at it.
There's that fine mixture.
Right.
Where you feel like you can just take on the world.
Right. Well, I don't know if that's a good idea, taking on the world.
Definitely not.
But where I was going with that is with alcohol, you have all these people across the country, which I think is amazing, that have grown into being homebrewers. So their stuff's not being taxed. There's laws like here in Ohio. There's a certain gallon amount that you can make. You can't sell it for resale. If you want to go out for resale, then you have to get your labels. You have to pay certain money to get a license that makes you an actual seller of it, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot that goes into it.
Right.
I would be comfortable with that. Like you said, set a limit that each person can or cannot grow on their own property. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound crazy about it, but I think that because it's something that you're going to grow in the ground, and it has monetary value, I think it's something that there should be some way to register exactly that you are or aren't a grower. It shouldn't matter. I mean, if you can't
like a hunter, you got to tag your plants.
Exactly. I mean, that would be exactly it right there. If you're a marijuana grower, you have to buy a license for $12 every year. You tag each plant once it reaches X number of size and has a chance at maturity. Those tags cost $2 or $3 a piece, something cheap, but just to keep a little bit of a.
Oh, they would be like $50 a piece.
No, but they shouldn't be. But you know what I'm saying?
How much you pay for license plates once a year?
It all depends on what you're driving.
It's a lot, though.
I'm not saying it's cheap. I'm just saying.
The state ain't gonna make it cheap.
I'm just saying. I think there's a lot of merit to it.
I still think there's gonna be a black market value for states like Ohio that don't have a smoking bud policy. There's no recreation.
It's coming though.
Well, I'm just saying right now.
Yeah.
As slow as it's going.
Yeah.
Not obviously like Colorado and
Yeah.
whoever else's recreation.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any black market.
Sure.
Where is it going to be?
Yeah.
But I think it would also help a lot of the. I don't know. There probably wouldn't be a drug war on marijuana anymore. I mean,
No.
how could it be?
I mean, like I said, only the stuff coming in from other countries.
And there might be. This also might lead to one of those things where somebody's like, man, you know what? I'm just going to start smoking weed instead of doing all this other stuff because I can get it. I'm not going to go to jail anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not as strong as what I'm used to, but
Yeah.
fuck it.
Right. I mean, you have like stuff like the DUI test that have to be perfected. I mean, right now you can take a BAC.
That's another problem.
You can take a BAC right now, like you can blow where they can draw blood, and they're going to know exactly what's in your system as far as alcohol goes. We don't quite work that way because it's residual. To where if you're an everyday smoker, you might have X number of grams in your system. If I'm a one-time smoker and I'm blazed out of my mind, my number might be the same as yours because my body's not used to the effect of what it's going to have on it. So that's one of the things that they struggle with. I think it should just be zero.
What?
To be honest, I mean, like, there's a certain like bottom out point that you hit. Like, if you're driving around stoned, like, you should get a DUI.
Right. I agree.
I mean, it's still not cool.
See, that's where I think you in the handful of pot smokers that I've had this conversation with, they all say the same thing, almost verbatim.
Which is
Never heard anything on the news of a pot smoker, killing anybody in their car, or whatever, or getting a DUI, or just hurting somebody.
I mean, if that's a challenge for me to start doing some research, I'll take
I guarantee
it.
I guarantee you there was somebody blazed out of their mind that fucking crashed and killed
There's
somebody.
been somebody blazed out of their mind on everything. I mean,
I'm just saying, somebody driving a car at some point killed somebody,
Yeah.
stoned out of their mind.
yeah.
It's happened, people.
I don't
Wake up.
I don't disagree.
I know you love your green, but wake up a little bit there.
Right. So I do think that the tax would be huge. That would be on it. We do think that has to be done right. I mean, different regulations to kind of take a look at what's working, what's not. Figure out a grand scheme.
Here's a big one.
What?
Jobs, jobs, jobs.
Yeah, and not even just a job, a true trade as
Right.
far as horticulture goes.
It would bring farming technically back into our society as, hey,
Yeah,
it's a fucking talk about the ultimate cash fucking crop.
right.
Boom.
It don't take but 2 acres for you to be sitting pretty if you can grow some of that shit that killed Elvis. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think that there would be jobs all over the place when it come to that.
Now, we just hit 2019. 2020 will be a whole new election, right?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think? Who do you think? See, obviously we know Trump's going to run again.
Yeah.
Whoever is running against him, who will be the first? Do you think Trump or his opposer drops the bomb on? If you elect me, I will legalize it federally. Think it's going to be Trump? Think it's even going to happen?
I don't know. Okay, I will say this. If it does happen, it's going to instantly be a Me Too. I don't think that this is one that one side or the other is going to let the other one run with, because it's such a hot button thing. The number of people that oppose this as our parents' generation,
Right.
which was kind of the Woodstock, not that they all attended Woodstock, I don't mean that, but they were kind of the Woodstock generation as they continue to get into their late 60s, 70s, heading toward their mid 70s. I mean, we're about to have this year, 2019, maybe 50 years since Woodstock. If they were all 18, that makes them 68. Right? Not that they were all 18.
4
but
days of peace and love.
that's what I'm saying, baby. So I think that the more that generation has become like the leading generation for a couple more years before it starts to get handed off again, I think that lack of opposition and the thought that they can see that as a very strong selling point to the coming generations, I definitely think that it's something that both sides are probably going to get involved with if one of them decides to pull the trigger. Now, if you get there first with a comprehensive plan that they have no choice but to copy and they can't improve it, I believe that right now people are working on this plan. Like this is one of my conspiracy theories, like I don't have a lot of them, but I firmly believe that there are people inside these teams right now that are dissecting everything that's going on in all these different states and saying, hey, if we do X and then we have Y, Z, R, and Q as the parameters that go on it.
Yep.
This program is going to work federally. This is going to give some power back to the states. There's going to be a federal tax that gets leaned on it, just like you have with liquor. You know what I mean? To where I think it's a great idea. I actually think that it's gonna work. But the one big problem that's standing in the way of this,
What's that?
And most people do not realize that this is happening.
I probably don't.
Do you know why marijuana is not currently legal everywhere? You want to take a shot in the dark?
I have no idea what you're going to tell me, so no.
Believe it or not, you can research it. The number one lobbying groups in Washington, D.C. are alcohol companies. They are so afraid of the lost revenue from this that they spend millions and millions and millions of dollars lobbying.
So they're
keep
losing revenue over worrying about losing revenue.
Well,
Jesus Christ,
to
dumbasses.
them, if you're paying millions to lose hundreds of millions or billions, it's worth it. That's one of the big problems that they have right now.
Do you really think that people are going to stop drinking?
That's the thing I don't think so, because I think that if you look at what's actually happened since the whole Colorado was the staple, shout out to Colorado. Somebody had to get the party started, but you look at what's happened since then, craft breweries have exploded everywhere. I feel like beer is more popular now than it was when we were kids. When you were kids, there were 6 different flavors. You know what I mean? Everybody, how many more women drink beer than I remember drinking beer growing up? It's like all of them.
Yeah.
Every
one of them.
Pretty much.
No, I don't see that happening at all. I think that's stupid.
No.
I mean, like, for instance, I'm going to keep drinking beer. I'm not going to start smoking weed, even if it becomes recreational.
Absolutely not.
I'm just not.
No.
Well, for one, because I can't go to work
Right.
and keep my job.
Right.
Until something changes with that, I mean, they're not going to... How is that going to work? Something will have to change with that rule then as well.
Which rule?
The employer rule, to where, like you said, there has to be some sort of a new test saying that you blow into something or they pull some blood and they can tell right then and there if you're stoned.
Yeah.
But if it's been in your system because you smoke it all the time, that you're not high at that point.
I think it's going to be more position based is what they're going to go to. So like right now, if you have a CDL, you go out on the road, even in your personal car, and you smash into somebody when you're shithoused, you're going to lose your CDL because of it. It doesn't matter that you weren't driving the truck. It doesn't matter you weren't driving a truck for your company at that time. The fact is that you have a DUI, that makes you a liability.
Sure.
You're going to get your CDL suspended.
Sure.
So I think that it's probably going to follow right along the same lines, is that there's going to be, like you were talking, forklift drivers. Can't have pie-eyed forklift drivers riding around eating their Debbie cakes, cruising through the warehouse.
So you think it's going to be position?
Yeah, I think that you're going to end with classified jobs, that certain jobs and positions can't have it. Now, what you're going to have is probably some people getting out of those positions and going into different lines of work, and people, like you said, that aren't really going to be into it. They're going to be perfectly suited to be right in life for it. It's one of the things that we suck at as a society anyway, is getting people doing things that they should be doing positionally. We just kind of throw people wherever.
Yeah.
Everybody gets general education, not to go down a whole different rabbit hole, but I'm just saying. I think that it would actually help with that problem a little bit.
Right. Well,
put it with some problem solving.
Yeah.
But one of the things that this also leads into is I know that it failed here. It's starting to gain traction across the country. The idea that some of these prison sentences that are being handed down for quote unquote non-violent offenders have gotten to the point that they're not just ridiculous, they're insane based on the amount of money that they're costing you and I as taxpayers.
Sure.
Give
me some examples.
I mean,
you have any?
Okay, so we've been talking quite a bit about drugs, to where if you get caught with a couple pounds of weed, you're talking felony shit right there, to where you're doing multiple years in jail for weed possession. I don't know. I don't know if that's serving the purpose.
Well, that in itself will have to change upon some levels.
Yeah, but then you're talking about an ex post facto situation, to where the minute that they pass these laws, are they letting everybody out? I don't know. You're going to have a hard time getting that one through.
I think it depends what it is. If it's marijuana based, maybe.
I don't know. It might be place to place though too.
Right.
Just because it gets passed by some people, you know how you have the organizational. Maybe the governor's the one that has the power to grant that. If he disagrees with the fact that his General Assembly put it through, I don't know. It might not happen, or it might happen some places and not others. But I feel like it's gotten out of hand with some of it. I feel like we are definitely on a punishment-based system all of the time for everybody. And don't get me wrong, some people that are behind bars, it should absolutely be a punishment.
Well, then
because rehab isn't going to fix the problem.
Well, the whole push behind this, I'm sure, don't have any facts, but I'm sure the push is just overcrowding.
Yeah.
How can we get some of these people? They're taking a step back right now and saying, okay, how many of our prisoners, what percentage should maybe get reconsidered for either a lesser sentence
Yes.
or time served?
Right.
I don't know. I think you should definitely look at the marijuana individuals first.
Yeah.
Who's got popped for weed?
Yeah.
Just because there's a big change going on.
Sure. Also nonviolent.
That's what I mean.
Nonviolent. Where should the DUI community come in there? Dude, when I see Homeboy on TV with his 13th, there's a guy that we worked with for years. I think he ended up with somewhere around a dozen or 13. You know what I mean? DUIs. At what point do you stop letting him out? Because one of those, maybe it's the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th
Dude,
time,
I'm telling
he's
you what.
He's going to kill somebody.
I see the number way lower than.
Yeah.
Four DUIs, dude. You're never coming out. What are you doing?
I think it's one of those things.
Do we just zip his mouth up?
Yeah. For being a non-violent offense,
I think that is a violence. I think that should be changed to a violent offense. DUI.
You think DUI should be changed to a violent offense?
How about you could say.
You can get a DUI on a bicycle, right?
Okay, I'm talking about behind a vehicle, or the wheel of a vehicle.
So it has to be a registered BMV vehicle.
That pisses me off, by the way, that you can get a DUI on a bicycle, riding lawnmower
in your front yard,
and a four-wheeler,
skateboard, any of them.
Fuck you and whoever come up with that idea, other than ching 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 ching.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, if I ever got a DUI on a bicycle, I would fight that. I would just spend all the rest of my money in my whole lifetime on fighting that.
You're not going to win, though. The law is what the law is right now. We're talking about what needs
No.
to change.
You know what? I can understand.
Are you going to be that guy?
I can understand being behind a car, getting a DUI, and saying, shit, I could have killed somebody.
Truth.
But if you pull me off my 10 speed because I'm fucking a little bit drunk
Yeah.
or maybe just buzzed,
Yeah.
and you're gonna fucking give me a $10,000 over cost of time
Yeah.
DUI because I was riding my bike buzzed, fuck off.
That's some bullshit. So you're going to become the Larry Flint of bicycle DUIs. You're going to fight it all the way.
On a bicycle, yes. On my lawnmower in my front yard, yes.
Really?
Yes. Now, lawnmower, you could chop a few feet off.
But if you're on your own property, like like now we've heard the stories. I won't throw any names out there. There's a couple people we know that have had DUIs and hopped on the old lawnmower and taken it down to the drive-through and picked up a sixer or two.
Are you kidding me?
Hand to God, somebody that you and I both know very, very well is about 2.5 miles from his house, and they gave it to him, and he actually hit it underneath the seat and got it back home riding his lawnmower right down a pretty damn major road. So
Because he didn't have a license anymore.
yeah, it's on his four-wheeler.
On a four-wheeler.
I mean, not a four-wheeler, on his lawnmower, and his vehicle had one of the one of the breathalyzer things to where you got to blow in it to keep it going. So he couldn't have driven his truck if he wanted to at the time. So all he had was a lawnmower. So he took the deck off, hopped on his lawnmower.
No, see, I'm not backing that guy up, all right, at all.
So he should be doing hard time with the rapists and
I
murderers.
don't know about hard time, but I mean, prisons are fucked up anyways.
Yeah.
I know very little about them, but keep those fucking guys over there.
Yeah.
Keep those fucking guys over there.
Yeah.
Take the fucking bad, lethal motherfuckers and put them on an island. I've already talked about this, I think. Haven't we talked about this? Put them on an island, bring the fucking TV shows in. And
I'll do pay-per-view, baby.
Oh. You want to get the population down.
Yeah.
To every year take the 100 most lethal.
Yeah.
You'll fucking be getting guys in jail just on purpose for this. They just want to go compete.
Right.
They're going to go, knock off a drugstore just so and probably kill the clerk just so they can get in this game show.
But you know how we also see celebrity, man. You get Johnny crazy killer ass motherfucker.
No, they don't get to come back.
No. Just listen. But you keep putting him on TV, and Johnny keeps winning, and he's the big badass of the island. All of a sudden, you got a family or multiple families that are real upset that he's a celebrity now instead of rotting in a fucking 6x8 cell.
But the thing is, he's on a little 1,000-foot or 1,000 square foot island, some small island.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's not going to live long.
Yeah.
So we can leave the camera on him. You can watch him rot away in the next few months.
Yeah.
Because we only do this once a year.
Sure.
So he won, but
Yeah.
unless he can survive on sand and coconuts.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm definitely in support into making some changes on this. And to me, if you look at what it costs to house an inmate, depending on your state, your conditions, the level of security, I believe that the range is somewhere between 40 and 100,000 for your lowest level with
Per year.
per year versus what your like your average death row inmate is. I know I'm close on the numbers between 40 and 100, and it escalates based on state, population, what you've done. It all depends on who
If they're
you
getting
are.
the latest PlayStation games or not.
Well, what
Jesus
from
Christ.
the commissary, I don't know. But to me, I'm totally in favor of lowering these sentences, and huge caveat here is going to be lessening what ends up going on their record, because keeping a felony on your record for forever is bullshit.
Right.
You do something stupid as a 19-year-old kid, it shouldn't impact you trying to find a job when you're 40. It just shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the thing that drives me nuts, to where instead of it being a year-over-year process where you get the same people back into the same system, you have to start with some kind of an educational process to get them out of it. But at the same time, it becomes extend the olive branch. We're going to take care of you. If you can't keep yourself out of this situation, then you're going to be doing what you were doing before on top of whatever you're doing next, and you're going to be going away for a long-ass time.
right.
I feel like it needs to be either short, rehabilitative sentences or super long, you deserve everything that you're getting. This is a punishment sentence, because rehabilitating you isn't going to work.
No, I mean, that's why it's. I still don't believe that there should be just blanket sentences
sure.
for certain crimes.
No.
I think everything should be just everything. I mean, I'm sorry, you got a justice system and you got court dates
Sure.
back to back to back, and it's your fucking job. But you know what? You got to be a fucking adult and look at each case separately. I mean, Yeah, if you find some that are similar, okay, well then you can judge those the same. But
Yeah.
if you got A and B, I mean, how many different ways can you get busted for weed? They're not all the same.
No, right now they're not.
Cocaine, I mean, you could have a couple kilos and versus a couple packets or whatever you want to say.
Okay, but to me, then you're getting off. That's another topic I wanted to bring up, though. So even though they're not non-violent, okay, meth, coke, heroin, acid. I mean, I don't know. My knowledge of every drug that's on the market these days, ecstasy isn't exactly up to par, but stuff that can have long-term hardcore effects, shit that wrecks families, wrecks lives. If a child
Heroin.
that's what I said.
Did you say heroin?
I did. If a child gets a hold of it, they can OD. I still feel like those need to be held to a different standard. We just need to make first offense fucked. Not pleading out. You're not going to plea out the 2 years on it. You're instantly doing 20, because that's like you mentioned before with the DUI. You go spend 3 days in fucking jail or YMCA or whatever.
The Oriana House.
Right, whatever you want to call it. Pay your $10,000 fine, which I ain't saying that's cheap by any stretch of the imagination.
But it ain't 18 years in jail.
That's what I'm saying. It's not missing graduations and birthdays and
Christmases and Thanksgivings.
and people passing away and things that you're going to want to be there for.
Right.
To where I feel like our scale needs to change. This idea that there has to be a middle ground for what? What does there have to be a middle ground for?
Right.
I mean, if you are a hardcore piece of shit violent offender, I'm not saying quite throw away the key, but it shouldn't be easy. And you should be monitored the rest of your life. But take all the resources that we're using at the bottom end, help those people get rehabilitated, get them fixed, get them back out into society, and quit wasting our time and money.
Absolutely.
I just hate seeing it. I hate seeing things happen to good people, to where they have to end up choosing some kind of a strange alternative life and find ways of making ends meet that just aren't traditional.
No, I agree. I don't know. You talked about paying for something you did in your 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in your 40s,
Yeah.
maybe there should be some how much has this guy changed? I mean, maybe you can change. Maybe some people really do. Maybe some people realize they did something stupid.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what that was. If you killed 5 people when you were in your 20s, you're probably not getting out.
You shouldn't ever get out.
You should have already been executed.
I mean, other countries have fucked up laws that let that happen.
Yeah.
Like that crazy fucker down in Peru, right?
Peru?
The monster of the Andes, I think is what he's called. Killed over 300 children. But because of their laws, he can only do 25 years, and he got out after 16 on good behavior. Gone. Disappeared. Nobody knows where the fuck this guy is. True story.
How does the guy that killed 300 kids get out early on good behavior?
Right?
Talk about fucking morons.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
That is some shit down there. So we might not have it quite that bad yet, but
Wow.
yeah,
Hashtag wow.
it is ridiculous. And popular or not, I'm going to throw this one part out there too, that I don't care if the offense is violent or non-violent. I feel like the punishment for illegal aliens that are in this country should be quadrupled for fucking everything. If you're someplace that you're not supposed to fucking be and you're fucking around, you should be getting in some serious fucking shit for it.
I'm going to tell you what. If I walk onto somebody's property right now and it says no trespassing,
Yeah.
I could be prosecuted for that.
Yeah.
So why can somebody come to our country that doesn't belong here?
Agreed.
And they just get a pampered, cushiony little ride.
Yeah. That cell with the yard and 3 squares a day and the inner building commerce and stuff that goes on, that's better than the life that they were leading. And people that think that's harsh, just look at the Otto Warmbier case, right? Kid
Right.
from Ohio, you know who he is, to where was over in South Korea, North Korea. Where was he at?
I don't remember.
But basically tore down a sign that was propaganda. They gave him 15 years. They sent him back here a fucking hot mess, and he died 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
For tearing down a sign.
I tell you what,
So
that's-
if anybody that thinks that we're extreme, we're kind of pussified in the way that we do this stuff. We don't have stocks anymore. People aren't getting whipped and stoned and shit like that. I get it. We've adopted a
Can
level
you
of
believe
civility, but has
that
to be
kid
better.
got detained for messing with a flag or a sign?
It was a sign.
I thought it was a flag.
Pretty sure it was a sign.
Either way, dumb.
Yeah. But that's what we deal with around the world in different places. I mean, it's absolutely crazy.
I mean, pay the country $1,000. I mean, that's way over what anything would have cost
Right.
for damages.
Right.
But just do it. Get the kid back here.
Yeah, but they don't want somebody else doing it. That's where the whole thing lies. Like, it's almost like the restitution end of something, you know? If you burn yourself at McDonald's with coffee. I mean, remember that lady, what did she get, $25 million years ago? She burned herself with the hot
Did
coffee.
she get that much?
Oh, hell yeah, she did.
Ah.
She burned herself with hot coffee, you know, because it didn't say hot coffee
I
on the
remember.
cup. So
I know
whatever,
she got 25 friggin' million.
yeah, so whatever those burns are, okay, so let's even say it costs $50,000 to get her grafts and everything done, you know, to get her, that was that. Not restitution. What's the word I'm looking for here? When it's the money that you have to pay as like almost as a penalty. The word's escaping me.
I don't know. Gobbledygook?
No, no, it's not. It's not gobbledygook. It'll come to me at some point.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it's like disciplinary money.
Right.
Like is what. Like that's why they do that in other countries. You know. So
I mean, there's part of that I do agree with. Not starving a kid and beating him till he's almost dead and sending him home.
right.
But I mean, I don't know. There's part of the old laws that I kind of like.
Yeah. Like what?
I don't know. I mean, if you get caught 5 times stealing shit, yeah, maybe you should have a hand cut off.
Woo.
I mean, I don't know if you don't learn
Yeah.
over a period of set time,
Yeah.
you're never going to change, and you can't steal nothing with, or it's harder to take things with.
It is.
Without 5 digits.
I agree. Punitive was the word I'm looking for.
Punitive?
They are called punitive damages.
Punitive.
Sorry.
Use that in a sentence, please.
Yeah. Well, she got $46 million in punitive damages.
Right. 25.
Well, her particularly, 25.
Don't
yeah.
fucking change that shit.
Yeah. So if you guys got any more ideas on this, let us know. I'll be interested to see what anybody else's take on this. Some people think that if you do the crime, you do the time. It doesn't really matter what happens. I just think that the way that it's set up, what the crime and the time are, need to change a little bit, you know. So,
Well, we got one more.
yeah, we got one more for this sesh here.
For this epi, we got some SB.
Yeah, a little bit of a sports topic, but it's kind of just a media topic in overall. So, obviously we're sports fans. You can tell by our tribe hats, you know, his little Indians get up that we got going on here. We're clearly sports fans. I don't know how many of you follow ESPN, especially if you have the app on your phone. Keeps you up to date on all the things going on in the world. It's great, you know, especially, you know, if there's breaking news, they send you the little information of what's going on.
Then you click it on your phone,
Yeah.
and then you're reading a little bit, and you're scrolling down, and then you can't scroll anymore, and it says, what does it say?
Yeah. You need to get ESPN Plus.
You got to subscribe
Yeah.
to ESPN Plus if you want to read more of this.
Yes, for their content.
Sorry, motherfuckers. We don't read enough in this country. And if I'd like to read your fucking content, just let me fucking read it.
Right. Well, part of the fucking problem to me is there's already so many people out there that have cable subscriptions, or even through Hulu or Fire Stick or whatever it is that you got. People are paying for their ESPN. I'm already paying for my ESPN.
I'm paying for mine.
Why the fuck am I paying for more? Like, I shouldn't have to get pay-per-view
Why
on written literature like this.
Why is there a plus?
I don't know. And that's all it is. I really think that it's just shit that they know that hardcore sports fans, pedestrian sport fans, they could give a shit about this, you know? But what it leads into, though, for me is, so this is one of them. Huge UFC fan, you know this. It's one of my 2 favorite sports. They actually just inked a huge deal.
Who yanked?
Who yinked?
Yanked.
Who
inked it?
You had to catch me on one, huh? The UFC and ESPN just inked a huge deal that is starting now here in January. I believe it's the first Saturday in February. It's either first Saturday of February, last Saturday in January. It's going to be the first fight. It's going to be a title fight that they're putting on ESPN Plus, kind of their debut to the whole thing, to where if you don't have it, you can't watch it. And this is one of the things.
So ESPN Plus is actually a channel?
Yes. Well, it's
I thought it was just a subscription for reading shit.
No. It's a streaming channel too. It's ridiculous. So if you don't have it, you can't watch it. So
I'm not paying any fucking more.
No, I mean you're better off going on a site that's.
Is this how they fuck you? Because half of the world has cut the cord.
Yeah.
And we're all paying for what we want now.
Right.
And they're like, No, you're not.
Yeah,
We're going to put a little bit more over here.
Yeah, the people we still got, we need to keep you in, and we need to get those numbers back up to where they need to be.
I'm going to tell you what. On that same line, real quick, my little hop. People think they cut the cord. I cut the cord.
Yeah.
I was not early cutting the cord, but I was on the 25% early.
Yeah.
They still got us. Because as soon as everybody started cutting the cord, what went up? The internet rates.
Well,
The internet service provider rates went up.
they talked about that when that happened, though.
I know, but still. Because now, what do you need? See, the thing is, when you're running through the cable, the coax,
Yeah.
that's its own entity.
Sure.
You can get internet through that.
Yeah.
But when you cut the cord, now I've got my Roku, which you're a little bit new with, the Rokus, the Apple TVs, all that shit needs internet,
To run it.
right?
Sure.
And you need faster internet.
You sure
so
do.
you're going to bump that up, and what you don't realize is if you're still saving money, you're saving $20, which is still better than paying that $20, but
It is. But for somebody like me, at this point, I'm already paying for the jacked up, the fastest high-speed internet that we can get around here.
Yeah, me too.
I'm already paying for it because I've got a wife and 3 daughters, to where they've all got smartphones. I've got a smartphone. We've got an Apple TV, the TV with the Roku and everything that's on it, a couple laptops floating through the house to where...
you need it.
Well, I mean, it's not uncommon for us to have a minimum of 5, sometimes up to 8 or 9 devices.
I mean, we've got
Going at one time.
the PlayStation View is our cable.
Yeah.
So send me a check, PlayStation View.
Boom. Plug in.
And then we got the Netflix, which I'm sure half the nation has Netflix, if
Yeah.
not more.
Sure.
So those are our main standbys.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got the little picks and packs things here and there that you can get on Roku.
Yeah.
Other little channel
Sure.
dealios. But
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know how much we're really saving because you got the $15 or $14 on Netflix.
Yeah.
You got the, almost $70 now just for internet.
Sure.
And then, the subscription to PlayStation View, they got you right away.
Yep.
It was $35 when all this started. Now guess what mine is?
50.
53 with the taxes.
Sure. Oh, it's crazy. And one of the things that they're also doing, if you keep an eye on it, is there are certain things. You can have ESPN that will take over, like with their NFL contract, like they might be showing like playoff games, stuff like that, the Monday night game or the Sunday night game or,
Right.
whatever on different
Right.
channels to where they're getting some of that, but they're never going to get to where that stuff is pay-per-view. Like you're never going to see the NFL with a live NFL game that's going to be on ESPN Plus because there are certain staples that are already built into it, right?
Right,
So
right.
what you have are things to where, like in the United States, I believe that the UEFA Champions League soccer is bigger in the States now than it has been at any time. Soccer, when we were growing up, was something that you did for fun. You know what I mean? Like here in the States, we didn't pay huge attention to what was going on
But do
across
you
the
remember
pond with
when we
that.
were kids? The Crunch was the
Oh,
only
I do.
Cleveland sports team.
Son, it was the Force before that.
Right. The Crunch and the Force.
Right.
But they were winning championships almost yearly.
Yeah.
And
Dominating.
And-
nobody cared.
nobody really cared, but like kids groups and shit would go up in groups and
Oh, yeah,
watch
for
games.
sure. We did.
But yeah, overall, no one gave a shit.
Right.
It's like, God.
Right. But what they're doing is, okay, so they're trying to capitalize on these kind of markets, UFC, an emerging market, right? To where it's starting to flatten out because they keep trying to do this to it. So like that's my message to the UFC. If you really want to get mainstream all the way, I think you're getting really close right now. People have accepted the violence. They enjoy it. They see that there is a level of sport to it that has changed. It's not two drunk beer belly guys slugging it out in a cage. It doesn't work like that anymore. These are legitimate, highly trained athletic machines that are going to war with each other. Right? People love to see it. I love to see it. I love to be it. Well, who's going to win this? This looks like it's going to be a hell of a matchup. But get away from this shit. You're doing a good thing. You did a good thing by getting with Fox. You did a really good thing by getting in with ESPN. But stop the additional cost of shit. One thing that will stop me from buying an app right now online is as soon as I see in-app purchases, go fuck yourself. Unless it's something that I'm planning on getting to pay for stuff.
Right.
Drives me absolutely crazy. Everything is an in-app purchase these days.
In-app
You will
purchases.
never see an in-app purchase for us.
But that's how they do it. That's how they get you.
It's horseshit.
I'm going to tell you right now. Fortnite. Everybody in the whole fucking world knows what Fortnite is.
Sure.
It's just a fucking game on every single platform.
Yeah.
But by the way, offered it for free.
Yeah.
The game is absolutely free. And yeah, there's a shit ton of in-app purchases or in-game purchases, but still absolutely fucking brilliant. Their biggest competitors are like Call of Duty and some other games, Battlefield or whatever.
Right.
You still got to pay $60 for that shit.
Yeah.
They offer the game for free.
But do those games still have in-app purchases?
Yes.
Oh, then.
Call of Duty, you can buy $60 game. And don't quote me on this, but I believe you can spend up to an additional $150 for all these extra perk bullshits.
Are you shitting me?
It's like, I mean, if
Is that even fun then to play for the $60 gamer? If you're playing the guy that's got $210 launched in it?
Those guys that have that's because they have their clans and they have these guys that they all play with. So for them, it's probably worth it. For me, I would never fucking do that.
I'm not even going to pretend to understand any of that.
It's okay. I don't really understand it. Yeah. I play a little bit of Call of Duty. I play plenty of Fortnite in the last year, but I'd much rather pay the Zero game, and you don't have to buy anything.
Yeah.
Cool thing about Fortnite is spending money doesn't make you any better.
Yeah.
It's just for fun.
Yeah.
So you could still be the guy that never spent a dime, and you could be just having just as much fun as the guys that spent $300.
Sure. I mean, I'll be the first one to admit, I don't have a problem paying for an app.
Right.
But I want it to be either a subscription that I can just turn off or a one-time deal, which is what I really like. This is what it costs to get it. And then you're done. Like, those are the best. And they're going away. Like, they're harder and harder to find.
Like, as we're doing this podcast,
Yeah.
and we're looking for certain programs and things,
Yeah.
and we come across the ones that say Lifetime.
Yeah.
And
We're like,
we're
yes.
like high five, and we're like,
Right.
Lifetime.
Right? $41 for the lifetime subscription?
Thank you very much.
As long as you keep updating your shit, we are in there.
It's like, not this fucking,
I just feel
$200 a year.
I just feel like you're nickel and diamond. The people that are paying
More
your bills.
than nickel and diamond.
And at some point, people are just going to get finally fucking fed up with it. And the people that realize it first are going to be the ones that come out further ahead. I just think that that's absolutely the case. So that's what I got on that, man. I'm tired of paying for extra shit when it should already be included in the shit that I already paid for.
I agree.
So fight the fucking power.
By the way, I want to let everybody know, since we're on air and on not stream yet, but on video, that I should be wearing Browns today because Browns is much more relevant. But we got the the Wahoo hats, so I just wanted to coordinate a little bit today.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
I'm probably going to look like Lumberjake most of the time when I'm on here. So I'm wearing an Indians hat just to represent the Northeast Ohio. I should be wearing a Bears hat right now, seeing how they got a playoff game this weekend.
Woo!
We'll see how it works out. I'm not
what
getting
seed did they finish?
3.
Nice.
Yeah, they're playing the Eagles, the defending champs. So, like I said,
They're gonna roll over.
I'm
the
not gonna
fucking
be one of
Eagles.
those people that's like that though, because the minute you think that, you don't know the NFL, right?
It's
turns
not my
around on
team,
you.
so I'm gonna think that. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna sit there nervous for 3 hours unless it's a blowout.
You should bite your fingernails and shake your knee and
Yeah.
all that bullshit.
That's like anything else. You got a horse in the race, it makes you a little bit nervous.
Hey Jake, let's do some shout outs.
Yeah, man. We got some shout outs.
Some shout outs.
Shout it. You want to go first, or you want me to?
I want you to.
Okay. The first one I'm going to start with podcast that I've actually really been enjoying. It's Murder in the Morning.
Yes.
You can find them on Instagram under Murder in the Morning. I hate to say that there's ever any comedy in it because it's completely about people that have gone clear off their rocker. But the girls do a great job putting it out there to you. It's like I said, there's a little bit of comedy. They swear, just to be prepared. They do give you a nice little warning. I thought that was nice at the beginning of their show to just kind of say, hey, this shit's pretty fucking graphic. So, put the women and children to bed. Not women. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch hell for that one. I can tell right now. That's what I get. That's what I get for quoting an old movie right there. Didn't think that went through.
That's right.
So Murder in the Morning. Give them a listen. I'm just going to say it. Their end of the year show was called Don't Fuck Your Children.
Oh.
So you can, It's about one guy and kind of what he gets into and the whole thing, but just that's a good one to check out. You get a chance. Murder in the Morning.
Okay. I'm going to throw a shout out to on a former coworker of ours, Robert. We're just going to leave it at Robert.
Yeah.
I will dub him the IT brain.
Boom.
Robert, good friend to both of us.
Very much.
One of the smartest guys I know.
Fucking brilliant.
Very sad that he moved off from from our corporation. But either way, he did actually. He's our first official, and he told us not to worry about this, but it's our first official email from a listener.
Yeah.
And
some great feedback.
Yeah, awesome feedback.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that, Robert. Thank you very much.
One of the things that we love too is, not to go down a rabbit hole, but Robert's one of those guys that we might not see everything eye to eye on, but we're really, really good friends. And that's part of what makes it great is he'll think of things that we don't think of, and he says some shit that's absolutely hilarious from time to time, and I enjoy it. Like he's great.
And chances are we're probably going to bring Robert on the show.
Yeah. So.
And I think you guys are going to like his opinions. And I
think you get a kick out of him.
And some of the things and his experiences.
That's right.
I believe he was born in Ireland, right?
I believe that's a true story.
Yes.
But he's actually worked hard to not sound like it. Once in a while you catch a glimpse and you'll be like, what was that? So he's good. So that's just a shout out to our buddy.
Yep.
Good old Robert Corrigan. We got a 2 girls, 1 scaredy cat. Another one that I've actually grown to pretty well appreciate. Another young podcast that's doing a really great job so far. You listen to them, their quality sounds great. It's another one. They got a bunch of scary stories, a bunch of stuff that's going on. They're comical, kind of a bunch of adult kids that didn't grow up. Is kind of the way that they look at things. So I get a kick out of them. They're a pretty good time. So if you get a chance, check out the 2 girls, 1 scaredy cat.
Okay, I got one more. This is a fellow podcaster. I don't know if he considers himself a podcaster. He may. I don't know officially, but he is. His name is Paul Brown, and he is from the UK. He's a huge Browns fan. That's what turned me on to him. I started checking him out on Twitter and whatnot, and we've interacted a little bit. I actually asked him how he became a football fan, actually even just a Browns fan, and he just said, well, with my name. Yeah. But my namesake, he goes, I really had no choice. Paul Brown, for most of you, if you don't know, was the
originator, man.
The originator, the guy that created the Browns, obviously, Paul Brown, and the Bengals.
Correct.
So, and Art Modell fired his ass. Fuck you, Art Modell.
Right. Fired the guy that started the team.
Yeah, so, but back to Paul Brown _UK. That is at Paul Brown _UK for you Twitter folks.
Yeah.
Great guy. Funny, I've watched a lot of his little bits and clips. He just came into Baltimore just this past weekend for the Browns game, and he's got his whole trip video logged or vlogged.
Oh, cool.
Whatever.
You can check it out.
It's cool. It's cool. So
awesome.
There you go. Actually, real quick though, I'd like to actually throw it out to you, Paul. Whether it's a phone call, I know our timelines are different, but if you're ever in the States and we can line up a phone call, or if you're in Cleveland watching a game. We're only about 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
We'll Uber your ass down here.
Let's hook it up, mate.
Come on down and get us. We'll do a little interview.
That's right. Last one I got is the Not So Minnesota Nice podcast.
Right.
And it's actually as cool as it sounds. I think of Minnesota as, land of 1,000 lakes, a bunch of cheery, happy people. It's almost like an extension of Canada. And no, that's not really the approach that they have here. It's kind of a no bullshit, kind of in your face, giving opinions on the stuff that they think. So I've really got a kick out of it. It's one of those to where I saw their logo and it kind of caught my eye. So I was like, all right, well, let's give them a listen. And I thought they did a great job. So
Sweet.
If you get a chance, that's the Not So Minnesota Nice podcast.
I love the name.
I do too. Man. All right, man. You ready to wrap this up for this one?
I think so.
It's been a good time.
I think it has been a good time.
Thank you again for all the hard work on the AV, man.
Hey,
I'm just the pretty face holding it together.
We are making it happen. Making it happen.
That's right. So think about what we had to say tonight. Maybe you want weed, maybe you don't. Maybe people should stay in jail, maybe they shouldn't. But nobody agrees you should pay for a bunch of extra shit.
Don't pay for ESPN Plus, and we should just sign a petition now. God damn it.
Fucking killing me right now, Dana White. So, hey, thanks a lot for joining us tonight, guys. We'll see you next time. That's right.
A high five.
That's right. Hey, man. Pip, pip.
Cheerio.